The following is a special presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1, Super League 2024. The big stage is on in Athens today. Two big-time players step aboard. Both have been imposing their will on this league from day one. One is the face of this league. He is this league. The other has been building his tower up at great heights. The big boss, KT, he's been waiting since March. He locked himself in the first chance he got, and he's been lying in wait. He comes from Double By Island, the third to land from the island here in Athens, and he's ready to exact a pound of flesh from anyone standing in his way. The tower Tapir, he's been building it to great heights. He's coming off a +4 generator powered win over Sandfer in the rematch. And now he gets one of the best opponents you could ever ask for, some of the stiffest competition you could ever ask for in this league. Two big-time players step onto the stage in Athens. One has been waiting for 8 months. KT's been waiting since March. Tapir started in D2. He shouldn't even be here, but here he is, one of the last 8 to contend for a Super League crown. One of the tightest matchups we will see in the quarterfinals this round. It should be good. It is KT versus Tapir, the boss versus the tower. Who will ascend to great heights today in Athens? It's a seismic battle, a top-tier battle. It's the boss and the tower, it's KT and Tapir, and it's coming your way right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to our third quarterfinal match of the 2024 Super League. I am your host G-Man, and today we have a good one for you. It's going to be number 3 seeded KT going up against number 6 seeded Tapir. Battle of 2 tournament winners. KT, who of course won March Madness back in March, and Tapir, who has had quite the season to build it for himself. Started in D2 and got the first 2 victories here in the February Flurry and the April Airwave, and then went up into D1 and was able to win the Jungle July. So overall has had a phenomenal season, looking to keep the season going here and not end in the quarterfinals. Looking at the bracket, again, we've gone through 2 quarterfinal matches so far. Both have been upsets, technically through seeds, so higher seeds not doing too hot so far. Of course, started with Brad H and Tago going at it in the first quarterfinal. Brad was kind of just took control of that game and was able to win 5-2. And I mean, Turner captain, probably one of the bigger shocks we've seen in the postseason thus far. 5-0 in Turner's favor. That's the 3rd sweep we've seen in Super League, and I think one that not really anybody had in their bingo card. Captain plays 1 game and his Super League is already over, so not the outcome he was looking for. Turner moves on to the semifinals and will face the winner of this matchup, but KT and Tapir looking to book their spot into the semifinals with a win here. Best of 9, of course, so could be in for a long one, or in the case of the Captain Turner game, this one could be over as soon as like half an hour or so, depending on how this place goes. We'll jump to the stream here. I'm joined by my co-commentator for today, Charles Sandfer, and also our referee, Caesar. It's an interesting setup here. I think that both these players have had some highlights on the season, definitely some lowlights, but I mean, Sandfer, going into this matchup, what do you think is pretty the most critical thing for both sides to get the victory here today and move on to the semifinals?
I think for part of them is going to be just making sure to figure out what they need to do on this bot. For KT, it's kind of been his brainchild a little bit. He's had some help on the programming side, but this is more or less the bot that he wanted to help create. And he's basically had an entire tournament time frame off since the last time he played. The last time he played was in September. Here we are now in towards the end of November, basically, where he's been off for a while. Whole tournament time frame. What will that rust factor look like? I expect him to at least very much put up a different fight than what Captain saw. Just because KT's kind of the master of mindset. He knows a little bit, thankfully, or not gonna say thankfully. He knows a little bit about what Tapir likes and doesn't like through other sources, and plus just being around and listening to what Tapir said on various other streams. So I would give this slight edge to KT, but Tapir at least has the fresher mindset in terms of he played just the last round as opposed to KT being off for a full month.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, that long gap in between playing is definitely going to be something we're gonna have to keep an eye out for. But we'll go to our players real quick. We'll start with Tapir because he might type this answer up. So we'll start with Tapir. I mean, played in the first round, had a pretty competitive match, all things considered. I mean, going back here. Um, started out as a back and forth, then just kind of took control of the game. Uh, what do you look to do in this match specifically to try and get a similar result that you were able to get in the prior round to try to take control of your own destiny to get into the semifinals?
Yeah, I think I'll talk here. First of all, thanks for having. I think for this round, it's KT. We had actually this is pretty much a full circle moment for me, seeing as how when I was first interested in MRE, he was pretty much the one to take me under his wing and teach me how to use the skills I already had. So I think I'm just gonna have to use what I know. Use what I had in again Sandfer, color switches, ammo control, basically everything that I've been taught is going to come out in play right here. Hopefully we'll have a good match. I know we're going to have a good match. Let's get it.
All right, going over to KT here. I think this match has some decent significance for you. It's for the first time in a while you've played, and we go back to last year. You can make the argument that this is technically an important match because you lost in the Final Four in Super League last year, didn't get a win in the knockout stage, looking to get your first tier, and then also possibly try to get a redemption arc in the final four in the next round, which would be against Turner if you do win this match. So mindset going into the match. It's been a while since you played a competitive match, and where's your head at in terms of going into this one to try and make sure you're going to be the one coming out on top?
It's been since March, man. Since I really won that last tournament, I really didn't have to think about anything. We've went through so many changes. We went through the old bot to a new bot. I created this platform. I told Grim, let's do it. Let's make it happen for the fans and the folks. Now here I am. I did all the training I could. Had a great day yesterday, right? Fantastic day. Couldn't thank everybody enough for all the wishes. The gratefulness for all that. Support's real. Love is in my heart. I'm ready, man. Tapir, he's a great guy. I've known him for a long time now. Even though it's only been a year in Uno time, it feels like 5 years. He knows what he's going to do. I know what I'm going to do. It's a new bot, sure, but we get all tools back, which is nice. It's been about time. So I actually can use my phone today. I used both devices instead of just not peeking over at the CH. So that's the one advantage I guess I'll have. And vive el momento, G. Just live in the moment. That's it. Just trying to stay in the moment, right? Don't get too ahead of yourself. I've learned a lot. I've seen probably the most matches in these last 76 days since I last played. Probably streamed the most matches, so I know what to do, what not to do, and it's time, man. It's time to get it done. Let's have a good one.
All right. With that said, Caesar will get things going here. We'll set the board to get this going. I think. Yeah, there we go. He's 7. There we go. And we'll see how this one goes. Best of 9, 1 power play. Again, full bot is unlocked here, so you can use all the tools you can to try to get the win here. So we'll see how both players use it. But with that said, I think we're good to go. So we'll throw it to Sandfer here for game 1 to give KT the most famous words in MRE.
So KT, you know how it goes. Game 1, everything's on the table for you. What's it going to be?
I'm gonna change it up, Sandfer. 14.
Okay, 14. Interesting call. We'll see where this goes here again.
Knows that
This
knows
could be
that
a field
Tapir
trip.
doesn't like the low stuff, so should be interesting to see if he'll ever go to it.
And starts off with the blue one here.
The Peter on Jack, right out, the gangster style card right off the bat.
And goes with the other one.
Early color swap, kind of thrown what Tapir wanted to say he was going to do early on, so going to be an interesting mix there.
Again,
Lends itself to the quick double.
an early draw from KT here.
But with KT, always got to be worried about is that a fade look or not. Could be just looking to try and connect something. Interesting. Got the 9 off the draw, I would imagine.
Potentially, and I mean that's going to be another draw here. I mean, especially with Tapir keeps playing the yellow, not necessarily the best situation, and Tapir's going to go for the
Oh, he
blue here.
bails
So,
KT out.
all right, no, it goes back to the yellow 2 here. So, try to hold on to it. Tapir was ready for it
Wow.
though.
So we had
Wasn't-
quad
yeah.
2, both blue and yellows out.
Was not going to be denied there. So I think KT wanted to stall here, and he is not going to get it at the moment.
Goes 1 up.
What's the call from Tapir? Blue 7. There's your table. Tapir with an early lead here as KT just continues to run the numbers. Another one up here, blue 9. I mean, at this point you kind of look at it and okay, double from KT, but you kind of look at this and I was just about to say Tapir's just kind of slowly going through this, but now he's drawn on the blue here. So what is KT going to do with this? He's also going to draw. So gets that draw. He gets that draw stall he was hoping for earlier, but maybe not at the moment he wanted to. But he is going to roll with it and see what he can do with this. Interesting call to play the blue 4 there. That's not really going to do anything for either side. Keeps the card count down though for Tapir at least, so does kind of expand that gap still. There's the blue 3, so that's both blue 3s are gone. It's another draw here. Does Tapir get the switch? Yes, he does. Yellow
He
3.
does. We're up to 5 different cards that are now out already. There's make that 6.
It's another draw here. Goes to the
KT's
yellow
loaded
4.
up a lot of yellow.
Curious if this ends up being an ill-advised switch here.
Kind of outplaying the bot a little bit.
Another draw here. seems very red and green heavy, and we are going to find that out as we go to red.
Gonna be into the Christmas colors now. Yep.
Just in time for the
I've done that
holidays.
better if I tried.
I mean, just in time for the holidays, depending on what type of person you are. It's going to be a ditto also on the green 6.
A little Devil's Wild as well.
And Tapir's going to go with the +2 here, so throws 2 more on for KT. Again, just keeping that lead here.
Zero Sugar play as KT continues to feel out Tapir here in game 1.
That's a draw from Tapir. Now I'm kind of curious what the cards are in terms of how they lay with colors. Because that's an interesting draw, because that's now 3 colors he's drawn on.
He's probably gone one of the other colors at one point in the draw, so probably I'd say 2 colors. Probably it's cherry red on the Zero Sugar.
And I think Tapir might run this red a bit if he's able to, but I'm not really sure he's going to be able to get a finish here unless he has some sort of wild or +4 connector.
Well, it is Tapir. Never gonna say never on that one. Basically a 1 possession lead though. Never mind.
And suddenly KT has taken the lead here. Red 1 still just playing the numbers here. There has not really been much in terms of runs per se. That might change. No, just a red 4.
And into that KT area, at least with Super League last year. Kind of in the red zone as we like to say last year.
Indeed, but what will Tapir do here? Because was in the lead, kind of got stumbled a bit, and suddenly finds himself on the outside looking in for this game 1 win.
Loading up, so I'd imagine this is going to be some sort of an action card that's going to give KT something. At least some form of a double play.
Very much might be. It's taken a while to type this one up.
I've had to double check what card he actually wanted to play. Double think his thought process a little bit.
It's a wild blue.
The KT Wild.
That was a lot longer.
If I know KT,
Then I thought
there's going to be a wild switch back to whatever color he needs.
That was not as much. That was not as much. There was a lot of build up for a wild blue. So we'll see what KT does. He draws on the
Ooh.
wild blue.
Draws in his own card.
And the blue 5. Make that
Back
the red
to
5.
red. Clutch.
That's going to be the wrong number there, but see what Tapir has.
There's only 5 other 5s out there.
Could there be a red hold here? There is a red hold. It goes to the red reverse, yellow reverse, green reverse, and that might be the game there. And ends it on a 5-card run here, and that switch is actually going to cost KT here because there was no blues in that run. So Tapir goes up 1-0 on the 5-card run. Or was it 6? Was it 6 or 2,
5.
3, 4, 5? No, it was 5. Bot says 6. That might have been really. I don't think there was a 6-card run in that game though. So that might have to be looked into, but. Nonetheless, Tapir does get the win here. I mean, Tapir, I think for the most part, you were in control of that game. I think towards the end, you were kind of a little bit all over the place, but did find a way to kind of navigate your way back into the driver's seat. But any thoughts on that game 1 and getting the win on that one to go up 1-0?
Just a lot of ammo control there. That's all I can say. Using the wild to, go for a card. So I actually could have switched to. If KT had switched to any other color, it would have been a win. So I was hoping you'd do that.
I see. I mean, you definitely have the three power cards on green, and then also just the reverse connector. So was able to get what you were hoping for there, and play worked out. But going to KT, I mean, it did look like you were looking to reverse the tides there towards the end, but the blue wild kind of threw you off, and then the switch ultimately cost you. Is some of that 76-day rust coming in there, or is it just kind of a game one feeler, and game two will be where things go back your way?
All I had was a blue reverse off the start. That was it. So when you only have a blue reverse off the start, you got to play the numbers, and I pretty much maximized the game as much as I could. I finally got a +4, but it came too late after that. What did they give me? That +2. So I just couldn't do much. All I could try to do is maximize the colors I had. I had a little bit of good answer on the 2s. I saw that with the blue yellow combo. I baited it off pretty well, but all I had was a blue reverse, so I had to try to think outside the box. I got to rethink my strategy on number start for sure.
All right. With that said, you still have the call, and it's still anything. So, I mean, for game two here, I could take this one. How many cards would you like?
We gotta drop it down to 10.
All right, goes significantly down.
Keeps in that mid tier, which isn't what Tapir dislikes. Still has yet to go in that 5 to 6 that Tapir said that he has gone on record saying he doesn't like. So
Gonna open up with a red 4. It's Tapir's own card. And both
ditto.
Tapirs are off the board right away.
Zero sugar cherry.
Switch to the blue. So to say we were kind of running the red there, but KT gets to switch on the 0 here to go to blue. It is 10 cards, so there could be one card that kind of gets left out, but Tapir's going to go for the 3-card switch here to bring it back to red. We'll see if that's what he wants, or if that's more of a stall. And KT's going to go with the early +4. Didn't like what he was seeing, so he just decided to throw it down there. And Tapir's going to be back up to 9 there. He draws on
Good
the
color
yellow.
swap though.
No yellow on the start or even that +4. And still nothing.
Bit unlucky, but it's one of those things we've kind of seen with the bot.
And KT runs out on yellow as well.
But KT going to be more than willing to draw here because, well, Tapir gets out of it.
Switch the red 9. Does KT have anything to play here? He has a green 9.
He does.
I think Tapir can play this, but I don't know if that's what he wants. He goes
Rainbow.
for the blue 9. There's your rainbow. Bring out the Skittles. There they are.
And there's the other blue 9.
A lot of 9s. There's a draw, so if Tapir could play here, might have been able to kind of escape that one in a decent spot. Especially with how long he played this. Okay.
Red zone a little bit.
Yeah, only could go so long. Now we're back at Draw City. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it before. KT's +4 there. There's no wilds at any sort in game one, so that was the first wild +4 of the series. So we'll see if we see
the first
more
one
throughout.
played.
Yeah. Ooh,
KT did admit that he got a +4 off of one of the +2s.
Yep.
Into the captain card.
Yep. Wasn't played though. Um, yeah, +6 also. That's going to give Tapir the lead. Oh, and a
Good
3-card
play.
switch to go back into blue. KT looking for potentially another stall here, but also I think he could run this with a +6.
Dittos himself.
And another draw here, so this ends up being a stall. And KT doing a lot of stalling here right now. May not be getting what he's hoping for in terms of the cards, so before might not be the start KT was looking for. But again, this could also kind of factor into, again, the 76-day window in between, but also just the just not a lot going on after March in general. I mean, we saw this with the on Jack last year, where he didn't really do much in the regular season after the March win, and then it was put up a fight in Super League, but overall was just never really seen as much of a contender there. But I mean, KT definitely comes from a different stance going into this one with 3-0 and quad 1, but you gotta wonder if the lack of momentum going into this is starting to affect how the start of this goes.
Well, he's rolling with the greens so far. Still has that 2-card advantage. Or I guess 1 card technically. There goes the advantage.
Green 8 KT taking a second to think about this one. And it's
Has
another
another
+4.
+4. Bot has definitely turned up. Oh. Wrong number, though. Tapir dittos himself with the green 6. KT gets a 2 off the draw.
Goes with the queen 7 here. Can he get the switch there? Yes, he does. Goes to the red, which he was hoping for before.
Trip 7. Let's go to the casinos.
And KT draws on the yellow 7, so it doesn't have
There's
the
only
quad.
3 7s left in the deck, actually.
And that's another yellow 9 as well. So both yellow 9s are gone. This is where one of the draw saves was happening on. So we
And
do
we're
get a
only down to
switch.
1-9 left. Because there goes. We're down to just 1 green 9. That is it.
Ooh, wild yellow. That's the first wild of the game.
That's interesting.
There's the card
Tied at
history
5.
for the people at home. I mean, you see what the remaining one is, so that's going to be interesting if we get there. If someone has that, because excluding like a wild or +4, that's a guaranteed no switch. We'll see what KT does here. I mean, this is another one that's seeming pretty close, but could argue this is a similar position that happened in the last game.
Both players also in that red zone, so that's probably one of the things KT's having to check out here.
Oh, that's a huge run to the finish, and I mean, he didn't have the finish to the end there. Was one short.
Got rid of both skips. There's only 4 skips left. They're in red and yellow, though.
I will say that's a very curious card, the call to burn all that ammo just to not have the finish there. We'll see what Tapir is able to roll with here on this blue. And he's just going to be able to go switch back into the yellow. And KT does
which
not have
isn't
anything.
something KT has.
Yeah, I honestly a bit of a questionable call there because I mean that's 4 ammo cards he just burned there with 1 stray, but I'm not sure about that because Tapir's just able to get back into what he was looking for in the first place. +4, and that might
Oh
just
boy.
be the game right here. Okay, no, KT does have a chance to respond. Tapir might be rolling with the odds here. Only 1 +4 left. It's going to be a +2
Don't
and a
mind
draw.
that.
So that hypothetically keeps the game alive. I'd be a little surprised if Tapir does not have a play here. Yeah, red
It's a
3.
red 3.
Question is, what does he do now with those 2 extra cards?
Or what the extra 2 cards were.
That too. Switch the yellow. So I mean, I like that call, and it's
Good
going to work
switch.
out. Yellow 2. Another draw. Now, how much is KT able to run this yellow now with the, okay, well, I mean, not that long, but back into a draw city, and I mean, I think KT able to get out of that situation there. Tapir burns the +4 and is not able to capitalize on it. Playing the blue now, I mean, if Tapir can't play this, this might be an advantage KT here.
Maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because knowing KT, it's not necessarily a situation where that wild wasn't already in his hand before the draw.
I mean, maybe, but we'll see. Well, we might ask him that after the game.
Good
And said
grief.
after the game is now. Last +4 is gone, and it's a 4-card run to the finish. Wow. That blue again. The blue actually did not help because that was a straight card that Tapir had. And was just able to finish the game there. Unbelievable. So Tapir goes up 2-0 here. Looking to further the gap here as he again 2-0 is a good gap, but also looking to sweep the first away stand. But I mean, we'll go to Tapir. I mean, this has been a pretty solid performance from you so far. You've definitely been able to at least find some of the +2s in specific. I mean, that's the category that sticks out to me the most. 5-2 on that one, but walk me through how these first 2 games have been in your head and just kind of navigating through the table overall. Tapir here.
It
Okay.
looks like he's typing, so you
He's
probably
gonna
have to
type
start
this.
asking KT.
Yeah. Yes. That was. Okay. Up 2-0 and looking good so far. I mean, what's been your mentality through these first 2 games, and also in specific, just walk me through the play there towards the end with the +4 red into the red 5.
Basically, that red 5, I had a red 3 left, so it was playing the odds. I didn't think that, KT would have a wild, or else he would have played it. He wouldn't have drawn. So it was just me taking the gamble. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but it kind of did because I got those greens and then just kept drawing and kind of formed out that run. What I am what I am concerned about is, KT's, that mystical mind of his. He's gathering all his info, and this could be another Lane Sanders incident way back in I think it was what was it April, where I went up I think so and then lost the next 4. So I'm hoping this isn't another one of those. But bot's going to do what the bot's going to do,
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I mean, going to KT, not the start you were hoping for thus far. Anything you felt you could have done differently in that one, or just kind of another one where it just kind of ran through it and just wasn't able to get the job done?
100% on me. It's my fault. Simple as that. It's my fault. Had the hand. That's 100% on me. I knew the reads. I did everything right. I knew he had a yellow finish with the skip. He was holding on to that. Figure, okay, maybe if he goes yellow, I try to save a yellow, cut back, but I never got one card. I was one card short every time. I'll think about something. I thought the 10 cards was good. Because it's a little bit lower, but about to do something drastic here. The next game.
I might have an idea what that can be, but we'll go to Sanford for the Game 3 call on this one.
Well, KT, you're down 2-0. You still have everything on the board for you. What's going to be for game 3?
Try to go 8. Let's go low.
Okay, that was a little less drastic than I thought it was going to be, but still going lower here. But we start with the blue +2. I mean, looking for a quick finish here. Yeah, so it goes to the blue 6. I mean, KT definitely looking to salvage at least one game here in his homestand. Not necessarily the best stand to start things off, but 2-1 definitely would be better than 3-0 going into the away stand.
And KT never going to be one to try and stack the +2 there, so not start at least. So.
And gets the switch, so KT draws, Tapir gets to switch the green. That might help KT, but Tapir's going to take the lead.
Little dolly part in action there, 9-5.
That's true. A double there, that's going to further the gap. Once again, that's also the other green 9. I mean, at this point, KT has to be looking for a draw at some point, and Tapir gets another switch here, potentially playing into the hand.
It's 2 color strats so far.
And that's gonna be another early +4 yellow. Second game in a row where KT does that early, not really liking the situation and decides to use it.
Well, and odds were wasn't going to get the switch back to blue there, so.
Sorry, just checking something here.
Tapir finds his way back to green. KT's quick over to red. I think that was Larry that just joined chat. Hello.
Yes, it was. Welcome. And Tapir with a +4 was not very fond of the red.
Cards.
KT draws on the green. Oh,
that's a stall as well from Tapir.
That actually, I think Tapir might have actually been looking for an early switch there, but we'll see how this one plays out.
KT doesn't bite. It's one of those things. KT, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Not gonna get fooled twice on it.
Question is now, what does KT do in this situation? Because I'm not sure if he necessarily has a green unless he drew one off the draw. Again, another game where he has fallen behind.
You know what KT's looking there though, trying to mull over what he's got, what the strategy's gonna be. Probably looking through that playbook of his. Ends up with just a draw. Tapir going to be quick to act, it looks like. Finds the KT Wild.
This is just this is an interesting stat. I just pulled up. I mean, in terms of gameplay, it's actually on 0-4 run right now for KT from base September, but I mean, has not had a win in 46 cumulative minutes of gameplay thus far. So KT looking to break that and not go a full hour of gameplay without one, and that's not going to continue there, as Tapir is going to make it 3-0, make that run 0-5, and keep that clock running. I mean, wow. I mean, I need to take a second look at that finish here, because that just kind of popped out of nowhere. I mean, yeah, I think this is a situation where Tapir might have been able to get a bailout here. Now, whether it was the wild or the +4, we'll have to ask. I mean, Tapir will. I will ask what that draw was, but I mean, another one where Tapir is able to find the
He
run
says
to the
bailout
finish.
100%.
Yeah, just curious which card it was, whether it was the wild or the +4, or something else that I'm not considering. Tapir.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
what was
I had a wild. Yeah.
was that the draw?
Yeah, I had a +4. I had, well, two. Yes, one that was, but I had one from the start. So.
Okay. I mean,
And then I picked up another wild. So that's why I said it was 100% a bailout.
okay, so the draw was the wild then, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely see why that's gonna help, because I mean, you had technically whatever way you want to look at it, a stray card of either card, or either kind, with either the +2 or the red 4, but nonetheless, it looked like you were in a good spot going to the rest of that game, but was able to just kind of get fortunate there and get the win. I mean, up 3-0 here. Again, no power plays have been used yet. Any thoughts as you go into your homestand with firm control of the game or the series thus far? If
Well,
you're
hey, look, I swept KT's games. He can sweep mine. That'll make it 3-3, and then it's just it's KT. You know, he's got tactics that nobody sees coming sometimes. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Apologies for some of the internet connectivity issues, but did get that fully to pair. I mean, going over to KT,
Very good.
I mean, I saw where you're going with the 8-card starts. I mean, you were looking for a sort of quick way to get back into this, but again, unfortunately, did not work out. And I mean, down 3-0, this is a tough spot. I'm trying to personally recall a time you were in this spot prior. I mean, I can't really remember it besides what's it called? I think it was May, I believe. But I mean, anything you feel like you need to be doing different to try to fight your way back into this, or is this going to be like a complete overhaul of what you need to do into this first away stand?
Tried to play a little bit percentages with the card starts. I figure, okay, I go down. Can't say I didn't get anything right. I mean, the only thing I could have did was I was thinking about it because I made that game one mistake early, but I mean, I had a blue safe. The game was over. Next turn, I go blue 6, right? I had a blue +2, red +2, red skip, red reverse, green reverse, yellow skip. I was hoping you go blue, and I got everything I wanted. I just got beat to the punch. Every single read I made is right. It's just, unfortunately, I'm getting one turn short. Can't really say it's card luck, because if it's one turn short, okay, I'm just getting beat, right? If it's card luck, it'd be, I don't know, 10-0 like it was Toaster. That was just nothing I could do. Here I'll have to think about. I'm on the road now. I mean, that was the Seth Cole game, right? I was down. Yeah, that was 3-1. We'll take it one game at a time. You know, I did learn something on what he's doing, so I do now have one thing. I know what he's doing now and how he can hide it. But yeah, it just isn't working right now. Well, we'll think of something. Got a long way to go here. At least it's best of 9, thank God.
Yeah, I mean, Tapir winning on 4 of the 5 card categories, only one that KT's ahead in his skips, and that's only by 1. So we'll see if he can try to reverse that here in this away stand. But Arrow's going to switch over here, and I mean, Tapir's in a really good spot at the moment. But I'll take the game 4 call here. I mean, Tapir, you see the cards you can't pick. What's the card start going to be? Might be taking a second to think here, or he just did not hear me. Oh, there we go. 11. I mean, Tapir looking to go up 4-0, and I mean, at that point, that's going to be a huge deficit for KT to overcome. But let's start with the yellow 3, and just looking to run it. And an immediate wild blue, so I mean, KT's going on the aggressive here. I mean, he did say he felt like he was just getting beat to the punch, so he is trying to do something different here. And I mean, we see that right there, and he's gonna get slapped in the face for it. So gonna get 2 more cards to his name, as he will get the blue, but he's gonna keep running it on the 0. And Tapir doesn't have anything else, so maybe a loss short term, but might be better long term. And I mean, we see the skip there, so that might just pretty much mitigate that +2. KT in a much better spot at the start of this game than he was in any of the first 3.
Diversifying the numbers as well. Goes the 1 up into a red.
Yeah, goes into the red. I mean, KT's gonna run it.
Finds my card. Yes.
Tapir's just looking to kind of play this from behind here. We'll see what he's got, but KT looking to get on the board.
Oh. Tapir calling timeout.
The unofficial timeout. We'll take 30 seconds and go to the break, and then we'll be back with some more Emory Uno action.
What happened? I'm deaf.
No, Tapir said 1 sec.
Oh, okay. You gotta get something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that KT interjection was our 30-second commercial break, so we are back. We don't technically have advertisements.
Oh, we're back?
No, it was a bit. Just focus on the game. And he deafens again, so he is focused and locked in. But yeah, I mean, I will say, when it comes to Tapir, I mean, I feel like we've seen this sometimes before, where people just take a while to figure out they have the path and then go for it. So this very much could be a situation where Tapir has I mean, again, let me check the table here. Very much potentially could have an 8-card run to the finish, and it's just checking to make sure how he lines this up. Because we've seen this from him before. So that might actually be the situation we're in right now. And I mean, the benefit of this bot is he's not on time limit, so he technically could take a while to figure out he does the correct path and doesn't screw it up. So that very much could be what it could be, but he also could just be like getting a drink or something, and then we just see like a red 3. So don't really know, but
more likely the latter.
I don't think we could rule out the former, but I mean, we'll see what happens. No matter what happens, though, KT likely just going to be a spectator of it all. Again, you see it's 6-8 there. This clock is rolling down still, but I mean, here's the updated number again, as I mentioned before, but looking to break it. But I mean, again, while we wait, Sandfer, any thoughts on the start of this game so far? Anything that you were necessarily expecting, or did this take you by surprise?
The fact that it's a 3-0 coming into this game, KT's not usually one to drop down into that, but these are two people that also know each other very well. So anytime someone can camouflage looks at all, it's going to lend itself to a little bit of a slow start for one player. So I think for KT, it's just a matter of he knows what he needs to do. It's trying to camouflage his own stuff because clearly Tapir's camouflaging his very well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, and I think for KT, I do think some of this just ends up with the result of that 76-day gap in between games, and also just kind of not really having much involvement since March. Because I mean, like, I think since March he's only had 2 wins on the season, and not necessarily the best record. But I mean, that March was so impactful that it got him up to this specific position. But again, gonna need to find some of that March magic if he wants to find his way back into this, but we'll see what happens. But again, 1 sec has turned into a few minutes, so. Just gonna have to wait to see when Tapir comes back. Again, I don't know if he would wait this long for a run, so I do think he needs to, he needs to go grab something, but.
Either grab something at this point or even just go to the bathroom or something. Who knows?
I mean, potentially.
But like you said, it is one of the benefits of what this bot is, because in the past when we were using the former bot, if you had to take one of these type of pauses, you're forfeiting a game at some point. So while maybe a little bit annoying, also have to consider probably beneficial for us at this point that we are on this bot, not the former bot that we had.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's pros and cons with no timer.
With both.
I think maybe at some point, especially with some of these longer breaks, maybe at some point, maybe instead of necessarily a forfeit of the game, it can be maybe like a forced draw. But as I say, that Tapir has finally returned, and he's gonna return with a double to tie things up here.
Favor was needed.
KT's
And
gonna
it
respond with a plus
favor
4.
responded with a plus. Gonna make me wait. I know KT wouldn't be saying that, but make me wait. Gonna give you the plus 4.
Yeah, I mean, that play was just like, of course, family first, now then, and then plus 4. So, yeah, I mean, let's take a look at the table again. Yeah, I mean, it was tied up before, and then KT just kind of pretty much swooped in with the lead on that one. And Tapir's gonna just play it calm for now. Again, KT looking for a win here to at least bring some momentum back into his wheelhouse here.
Unlikely that's a split ammo move, but could be. 4 cards left.
And that's gonna be it. Wow. All right. So, I mean, realistically, that was like only a 3-minute game, but
Too
well,
OP.
I mean, if you give KT
Too OP.
3 plus 4s,
It's too OP.
holy crap!
was that 3 plus 4? Yeah, it was 3 plus 4s. Good lord.
Too OP. Sorry, that's just too OP.
Okay. KT, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. What was that hand again? I didn't quite hear that.
Too OP, G. Too OP, man.
All right.
Look, all I can say is you give me something like that, it's game over. So there's
How
nothing he
much,
could
how
have
much
done.
of it did you have off the initial draw, and how much of it was handed to you?
No, everything was given. Actually, I had not only that, I had 4. You gave me a KT Wild and 3+4s. It's GG. That was just the easiest win of my life. I don't think I've ever gotten one easier than that, other than Radin being a bozo back in March. It's pretty much.
On
So,
on 11-2. But I mean, for Tapir, I don't really know if I have much to say on that. I mean, any thoughts on any thoughts during the 5-minute break, and any way you think you try to make this 4-1 here after a game like that?
Have a hit.
And the cutoff.
I was gonna say you might just have to type that one out. Didn't get any of it.
Score. Want me to type it, or am I good now?
You're good now, yeah.
It's good now, yeah.
Okay. All right. No, I was saying I was about to throw a hissy fit because
Okay, maybe you should type it. I'm not sure what's up with his connection, but it is cutting out, unfortunately. And
Oh.
there it goes. Oh, Tapir's back.
yeah, I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Okay, sounds good.
good now.
Yes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, I'm just saying because
right,
the last time we said we were good,
Yeah,
you
I'll
were
type
good.
it out. Yeah.
It worked for like all of a minute.
Probably not even.
I'm being generous.
We appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I got from that was throw a hissy fit, and then everything pretty much cut off. So I mean, if Tapir had a good hand there, that would be unfortunate. But also, I mean, that's really hard to fight against with KT having 3+4s. Had the other +4 another while, but I've seen 3+4. I know it's delaying the inevitable. I mean, fair enough, yeah. Because I mean, even if you do play the +4 after that, still has 2 +4s in the pocket. So gotta kick myself for holding +4 too long. That's too long for you. All right. I mean, we'll do the game. We'll do the game 5 call here. I know that KT's going to the bathroom, but we can still do the game 5 call. Let's just have it set up. And Tapir left again. So, I mean, Sandfer, if you want to take the call, go ahead. But or actually, no. Let's give Caesar the call since we're probably gonna have to type this out. So, Caesar, feel free to do the call for game 5 here, and then once we have that locked in, we'll just wait till KT comes back. And there he is. Okay, gonna go for the OG7 here. Again, Tapir looking
Am I good
to.
now?
Well, I mean, we're gonna have to wait 5 minutes before we can say that. But
No, that's fine. No, I was just
See well enough. This bathroom
if
trip
my
is
mic was
also
alright.
involving some push-ups.
it probably is. And I kind of don't. I don't want to discuss that any further. But I mean, again, KT looking for the win here to go make it 3-2 here. And I mean, we had it before, but I'll put it up again. But home field has been 0-4 so far in this series, so home field might be a curse here. But Tapir looking to break that for game 5 to go up 4-1.
I imagine he's just knocking out 10 reps in the hallway.
Gotta hype himself up.
All right, G, I'm back. I had to just go outside, take my shirt off, do some push-ups, and hopefully that will work.
Yep.
So,
One of those things was definitely not discussed prior, but we are good to go. We're good to go for Game 5.
hopefully that will work.
All right.
There you are,
another
G.
plus
It's look, it's
two.
G.
Plus 2. I actually think it's the first time this card has came up in this entire series, but
So it was in the final run. Probably. But yeah, did I call it or what? I mean, I said KT was probably doing push-ups.
yep. Gotta hype himself up, and he's gonna go with the double here. Again, home field 0-4 thus far. KT looking to continue the trend. Tapir looking to break it. And that's going to really help break it. If we get a 3-card switch here, that's going to give Tapir the lead and a good pathway to potentially get the finish. And we get to switch the green. This has been a very quick game thus far. Green 7.
Down to 2.
So
It's not going to be it for KT, though.
green 8. What does Tapir have? If anything. Nothing. Does KT have anything? It's a big weight. It's either decision or actually no. This I'm not sure what this weight is because I think KT would have had this ready to go if he had the finish here, or maybe he's just grabbing something. Could have also been thinking it over. Okay, so he's gonna go for the power play here. Interesting call.
Which does mean that this is probably a game.
Yeah, most likely. +4.
Oh yeah, it's game.
Red 9. There's the Uno call, and that's it. It's gonna be KT going up 2 in this away stand. But use the power play there, so gonna have to ride without it for the rest of the series.
Well, it's an interesting power play as well, because basically the only reason why he's using the power play there is to combat the idea of a +2 or a +4.
Yeah, I actually want to go to Tapir here first. Well, I'm curious what the last 2 cards were, and also what that draw was on the on that prior play there. So I'm curious to see what KT would have had to go up against had he not done that.
I'm not worried. Like you said, I've got one call and figure that in. I'm not looking.
Red reverse, red 6, blue 3. So I mean, yeah, with the +4 also, that would have been an interesting one. But
What do they get off the? What if they get off the +4 to?
I mean, we could. I mean,
Depends on if he looked.
I don't think he.
If he didn't look, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I did that, and you're pretty much going to ask me why, is I got to change momentum. I mean, I'm studying. What I did back in March was I really understood momentum, and I got to understand momentum. We're 5-0 here on the road, right? No one's won. No one's won at home, so this is going to be one of those who blinks first type of series. I think I have to. I got to stay aggressive. It's one of the big things I've learned in my time with these newer players is you got to be more aggressive. So trying to get that used to it, because you look at the stats, you exclude the +4 the +4, 3 +4s I've gone. It's been a pretty interesting game where I'm getting cooked on the +2s and reverses. So I'm thinking, okay, how do I combat that? I gotta stay on the throttle here. Can't lift now. It's Super League. If I'm lifting, I might as well just go home, right? So I can't lift. I gotta stay on the foot on the gas and keep pounding away. It's the best way to get back in the game for sure.
All right. My game played out like this: 1-3 on the road, then lost next 2. All right, so we'll see what happens here. But Tapir is gonna have the last call for his first homestand. Again, he's looking to break this trend because home is 0-5 so far. So breaking the trend in Game 6 would be big, but otherwise it's going to be 3-3. Tapir, what will the call be? And we'll see what happens from there.
No, you're not.
Even doesn't. All right, so going with 12, I believe. We'll see what
Will
happens,
we
but
see a third +2 start of this match? No, not yet.
we will see a blue 8 though, which has shown up a few times so far. But I mean, yeah, I mean, this is really about just kind of. I think really the main story going with this match is breaking that trend of the away team winning every single game thus far. Because I think whoever breaks that first is going to be at a huge advantage.
Well, and if you're Tapir, are you really in a rush to worry about breaking that? Because if that trend does carry through all 9 games, Tapir wins this 5-4.
That is true. So if the trend doesn't break, Tapir is going to win this 5-4. So I mean, KT is definitely going to be one more aggressive on breaking the trend, but right now he's just got to play along with it.
Well, and we've basically given all the numbers. There's the red 2, first color swap of the game.
What does Tapir have in his red though? That's going to be the big question.
How's the DJ Curtis?
And the DJ Curtis
Ditto
Ditto.
play.
So no more DJ Curtis for this game unless we got a reshuffle. Although none of the games so far have been close to that. Oh, big run there, a 4-card run. It's gonna be a +2 and then skips into the green, so it's gonna be that could be a big momentum shift here. And KT has nothing on the green here, so Tapir's okay. No, Tapir
And
has
neither
ran
does
out as
Tapir.
well. And that's another one where I think Tapir was looking for the switch and was not given it. And KT's just gonna do that to
Wow.
lower the cards here.
Both skip, and he does it by getting rid of the other green skip and the other green 3. There have been 4 cards played on green. Now 5. 2 green skips, 2 green 3s, and the green 6.
Tapir able to get the green 6 off the draw here, but he's looking for a switch and he's not gonna get it. So it's another situation where I think Tapir was looking for said switch and was not given it.
And it's a thing where down, I don't think
That's
KT's going to be the one to swap off of this. It's
That's
going to be
another
Tapir has to be the switch.
That's another switch though, because that's going to be helpful for Tapir, especially if KT keeps drawing. Because I mean, for Tapir, even if he doesn't have a play here, he's keeping it low, but he's going to find switch to yellow. I could see a crossover here from KT
if he's got it.
There it is, red 7. And nothing on red, so that's 2 color. And now KT's going to go on a run. Still nothing from Tapir. KT slowly pulling back this gap.
That's just methodical, classic KT. Back to green.
I mean, at this point, Tapir is mostly on 2 color here, so. Although the green was where we were drawing prior.
Yep.
Goes to the yellow, but
KT
I actually
just trips 1.
I think Tapir can work with this. Goes to the yellow 0. I think he's looking for it to stay.
Double play.
I think that ties it.
Yeah.
At least very close. No, okay, very close. Tapir's still in the lead.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize how that would have done.
My question is the yellow potentially going to be a detractor here for KT? We'll have to see, but I mean, Tapir's kind of been a little bit scrambled in this latter half of this game, as he just passed 4 minutes. KT taking a second.
He's going to look at the card history. He's going to look at the table. Kind of trying to analyze what he's got.
Yellow 3, he's going to bank on possibly a draw here. Doesn't get it. Also could have been just looking for a regular play here.
There's not many 6s left in the deck. The 2 red 6s from my card, the green 6, and then one more of the yellow 6s.
Red wild, that's a risky play.
But it's a calculated risk for KT.
If you're taking a second.
Didn't matter.
Didn't matter. It kind of blew up in his face, but it also kind of didn't. And I mean, Tapir has broken the streak here, and it goes 4-2 with the power play in hand. And I mean, that very much could be the dam that the dam breaking there in terms of a pathway to get back into this one. Because I mean, I think KT needed to ride that trend to the end of this one, and then figure out as a way in the next 4 games to kind of break it. But Tapir gets one win, which for him, I think it gets one win in this homestand, which I think for him is more than enough. And goes up 4-2. I mean, Tapir, you're kind of in the driver's seat here to get the win here. Any thoughts going into the rest of the series here with the power play and only being one game win away?
Just takes one. Just takes one.
Any thoughts on how that game went in specific, and were there any moments where you were kind of just kind of in a tailspin, not really sure what was happening next, or did you have that +4 the whole time and was just trying to find a moment to be able to close that one with it?
Well, I did have the +4. However, the moment that
You cut off.
You cut off at however
was
the
just
moment.
honest.
Tapir.
Done. However, I kept drawing and drawing, and it's like, okay, what?
Tapir, you cut off at the moment. So.
I know that side very well. I know that side very well.
Okay. I mean, if you just want to type it, that's fine. Because I mean, you're cutting out a lot, so. Yeah, we'll see. I will have to pure type it out. I mean, going to KT, again, I think that was a game you definitely did not want to lose, especially after the power play usage. And now it's 4-2 Tapir having the power play. I mean, thought process to get through these. I mean, would be the next 3 games. Thought process to get through these to try to find a way to get the job done and find a way through into the next round with your back against the wall.
Well, I knew fade off the blue. I knew he had a blue reverse as long as possible, so I figured I rushed him on the yellow, and then if I rushed him on the yellow, I can maybe go red wild and do a fade play. But I had one chance. And all right, let me try rushing the yellow, and then maybe, hopefully, he used the +4 early, right? But the problem is I always bank on the other player. It's how my strategy, bank on the other player having a +4 wild +2. I hadn't seen some. Okay, where do I go here? I feel like this game, I've had the first 3 games. Okay, I see where I could have went wrong. The last couple, you get those crazy hands. You got to readapt. I went with the power play. I only got one chance, so I'm going to full send to this last game. But the last thing I could try is maybe try to steal momentum back. I have to look at maybe just how the stats are at the game. I'm looking at this thing. Okay, what are the stats saying? Because if I'm not getting a certain type of action card, maybe there's something I need to readjust based on the stats and correlation. It's a fascinating process with this bot. It's still always going to be I guess a working progress for sure. So I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do this last game as a chance to send it here. We'll see what we can do for sure. Nice, Jay.
All right. Well, I mean, KT, going back to you, you will have the call for Game 7 here. The road to bring this back starts now, and you will have the call for Game 7. We'll go to Sandfer here to ask the grand old question here as we go to Game 7.
So, KT, you can't choose your famous 11 and 7. What's going to be the call for Game 7?
Cover my last night here. Send it full set.
All right. I mean, that
Got to go out with a bang.
does not
Well,
sound
why
like a
am I
vote of
really doing that?
doesn't sound like a vote of confidence from KT here though, so that could be a bit concerning. But again, we'll wait for Caesar to do it, and then we'll get things going here. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There it is, yellow 1. So get another
Fairly
number
normal
start.
start.
Get that full send, and he's going to draw. Is this going to be a drawback strategy here potentially? I mean, it very well could be. And KT's just pretty much throwing anything at the dartboard here. So
One up that time.
yeah,
All the games to end up with maybe about 2 or 3 colors here. That's a full send is not the one you'd expect.
but Tapir draws very early on the yellow. Only has the yellow 2, and that's it. So not able to run with much. 18. So I mean, drawback will have to get enforced here in a bit. Yellow 4, so gets out the draw. Okay, no, doesn't have to be yellow 2. So I mean, kind of just was able to find the yellow 2 and just kind of forced us to appear into a bad spot. I mean, that early draw there was not good from Tapir at all because that kind of just exposed him really early, but because we know what KT's going to be doing here.
Well, but the bot was fair. I mean, no yellows for either player, basically. Only one yellow draw.
No,
yeah.
I think KT's just drawing back to 20.
Not really something KT would normally do if he could avoid it.
Goes to the L7.
Like, yeah, he'll draw back, or yeah, he'll draw if he needs to, but, or feels like it's going to be useful, but doesn't usually draw back all the way to 20.
I mean, look, KT's back's against the wall. He's got to do something different here. So, I mean, I think he's trying to play from behind, trying to hold what he has to just kind of launch himself forward. I mean, we've seen him do this before in past seasons, back when drawback wasn't a thing. I remember last year against Pac Johnson, he went back to like 27, and then had like a 22 card run to the finish or something like that. So, it's not out of the question for KT to do that, but it's not something we really see.
I know which one
Seeing
you're talking about. It's 17, but yeah.
it was okay. Well, I mean, it's still an absurd number, but.
Well, I think some of that was also handed to him because Mac decided to give him like +2s, even though he was drawing.
Some of that was also just misplayed by Mac, but I mean there was no world KT should have realistically won that game, but
Mac didn't know any better at the time.
yeah, that's just kind of how the evolution of learning. But we go into the green here. Again, Tapir has the lead by I mean by like that's like a 1.5 card lead, but
Back to yellow though.
I mean Tapir. I mean this has been a very weak color for Tapir, so. I'm not liking his chances here if we keep going back to this yellow here. This might be what KT needs to kind of throw himself back into the mix. I mean, again, another draw here. And I mean, not really landing on any numbers where he could get a switch either. Maybe he gets to switch here. We haven't really seen the 9s thus far. And I mean, he is going to get it on the blue. Green 9, green 2. kind of just running the green here. I mean, KT knows the weak color, so he can always go back to that since he's not liking the situation. But yeah, gonna have to do anything he can to either try to burn the power play or just find his way to get to Yan without Tapir even being able to use the power play.
Captain's
4.
card there for the green 4.
Again, kind of just been running green for a bit. KT looking to cook something up here. And that's going to be a 4-card run here. 4-card
Get
switch
rid of
into
both
the
green
yellow.
skips. So at the very least, we know it's not going to be a skip play back to green.
And KT does take the lead with that play also. And I mean, again, that's not really that surprising because again, we're going back to this yellow, and I mean, Tapir has been absolutely barren on this yellow in this game. So this has been a huge weakness that KT is just blowing a hole into.
Wants to go over to red now. Red hasn't been played yet so far.
And that's another draw from Tapir. He's up to
2
13
colors
cards.
to Tapir.
With 13 cards, this is a disastrous game for Tapir right now.
There's the Kev card.
And on the 3-2. Gonna get the red 2 off the draw, but
Small straight for red 4 for a small straight here. If KT's got it. Or wants to use it.
+2 to the red 6. I mean, it's gonna add more cards to the fire. But plays his own card, looking to potentially have that switch to turn the tides for him. But I mean, this might be just too little, too late for game 7 here. Goes in the blue.
KT gets to swap. That's Pandora's box. Well, never mind. That was Pandora's box already open, but
Blue 5. Blue 3, Uno. I mean, we'll see what Tapir has, but I mean, this has been just a kind of been a disastrous game on the cards thus far. So if he has anything holding back, we might see it now. But
I mean, we have all 4 +4s out there.
well, there's one of them. Gonna keep it blue.
Keeps it blue.
That doesn't really surprise me because from what we know, he's basically on 2 color. And he's basically been on 2 color for most of this game. So the longer we run this blue and yellow, I believe it's gonna be actually no, not the yellow, the blue and the green. It's really gonna be better for Tapir. And I mean, KT has a draw on blue, so not able to run the blue. Switches to the green, but I think that's okay for Tapir. And again, we know yellow and red are very barren, but haven't seen much of green or blue. There's the green 1 up in the green 7. KT is running a bit of a risk here, keeping it on this green and blue, but he might also just not have anything else. +2, and that's gonna tie it. So suddenly on 2 color, Tapir has found himself back into the game. Not to mention with the power play in hand, I mean, I thought this was potentially a lost game for Tapir, but
So
might have found himself back into it, and it's going to be a double draw from both.
and with 4 of the numbers already gone, plus the skips even for a 5th card, that there's none of it left in the deck on green. Could be in for a lengthy one.
Green
I say
9.
that.
Well, I mean that's just a reprieve. Not out of it yet.
Well, and that's the other. That's both green 9s out of the way as well. So we are quickly running out of greens that are in the deck. Both green 8s are gone. So we're down to the 2 1s, another 5, another 7, and both reverses, plus an extra +2. So technically, there's only 7 greens left in the deck out of the 43 now that are still remaining, plus the cards in their hand. As this Draw City continues to go on for a while.
Yeah, this has been kind of a weird game because I mean Tapir had a huge weakness that kind of pretty much got a hole blown into it, but KT was not really able to finish the game there. When Tapir with the +4 is able to save it, and now we're kind of just in like a draw situation here, with kind of like a standstill in a way. So it's basically a game resetter at this point, which I actually think would benefit Tapir more, especially since this is pretty close. There's no shot, right? It's 10 cards. That
I
would
mean,
be
if
an
it's bullet
insane
ammo,
ending.
though.
Blue +4, blue 6. I mean, that would be an 8 card. That would be an 8 card run to end KT season. And it might just happen because he's taking a while to type this. +2, and I think that is going to be it. Wow. I mean, just about to hit 10:30 here. That's probably going to do it. That's it. Wow. And that's it for KT. Tapir wins the series 5-2. We'll move on to the semifinals of Super League, and unfortunately, I think for KT, just too many factors going into this one that kind of detract from him being able to fully bring it. Unfortunately, it's going to be another year where he goes out in the knockout stage for Super League. We'll start with Tapir. We'll start with Tapir since I think at this point he's gonna type his answers. But I mean Tapir, big victory here. That's gonna be that's gonna be your second straight in the knockouts. You're on to the semifinals against Jesse Turner. And you were able to take out the March Madness. You were able to take out the CEO himself. So. Any thoughts, emotions, feelings after that result, and what are you looking forward to in the semifinal match to potentially get yourself into the finals of Super League?
You probably asked KT's question while Tapir's.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, KT, I think we discussed this on the Wild Card podcast. I mean, I think there was just a lot of factors going into this game that were kind of outside distractions. Unfortunately, I do think we did see some of that. Sadly, obviously not the result you were wanting. But any comments on what went wrong, what you felt maybe you could have done better, and just general outlook on your season overall? One sec. All right. Okay. So got the phone call. So all right, we will give him a second here, but. Yeah, I mean, I'll go to Sandfer here. I mean, in your opinion, what do you think was the game that was really like dealing like the finishing blow in this series per se? Because, I mean, 5-2, Tapir got out to a lead early, and then KT won 2, but then Tapir was able to win another 2. I mean, Brad said it his game played out similar to this, but in your opinion, what was the game that kind of sealed the series for Tapir based off how things went?
I think I'd probably look at the game 6. It's the one that basically kind of took out the pattern that we'd seen so far, gave Tapir that killed the momentum that KT had going. Kind of just set it up well enough, gave him the chance to be able to use the power play in game 7 and be able to finish it off on the run. kind of just interesting because basically kind of holds firm what happened for regular season too, where basically if you managed to beat me in a single elimination matchup, you went on to at least the semifinals. So didn't bode well for any of the people that I've lost to in those semifinal games, but it is what it is.
I think there were a lot of stat lines also. I mean, including that one that we're just kind of working against KT as well. Because I mean, we've had 2 upsets seed wise so far, and that's going to be the 3rd. So I honestly think you got to be really concerned if you're Ashley going into this last quarterfinal match because the 2, 3, and 4 seeds have all just lost in their first matches. So um, big losses there, and Ashley looking to at least break the trend for herself at least because. At that point, she's the last quarterfinal match, and she's looking to not go one and done here in
She's
Super League.
eyes left, yeah.
I mean, whenever that game happens, we're still trying to figure that out. But I mean, while we're waiting for Tapir to type this up, and then also KT to get back from his phone call, and we'll look at the stats. I mean, again, the wilds and the +4s are pretty even most of the time. I think the biggest ones we have to look at is the +2s and the reverses. I mean, Tapir absolutely dominated in both these categories. I mean, was able to use that full to get the win. I mean, 4 reverses in this 8-card run to the finish to close the game and series out. So honestly, even if you exclude that, it's 11 reverses. Still absolutely dominated KT on the reverses throughout this match. KT only able to win the skips, but not by much. And unfortunately, that just proved to not be enough
I'm back.
in this one. But KT, if you want to answer, go ahead.
What was the answer? What was the question? My fault.
Oh, okay. Thoughts on what went wrong in the game? Anything you felt you could have done better? And if you want to just give a general overview on how your season went overall, just feel free to do so.
Tremendous season. Went out champion. Think about won March Madness. You can't complain about that. Every time you win March Madness, you did something right. Got a top 6 finish, maybe 5th, depending on what happens with that last game. Ultimately, that last game, it's pretty clear. Pull the Pez. I mean, I was drawing back because all I had was 13 numbers. So I'm thinking, okay, for the most part, maybe I can try to top deck some stuff. And I wasn't top decking anything, man. The only thing I tried was isolation tactics. And I think that game 4, we talked about bot whiplash on this bot. Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. You get 3 +4s in that. Okay, that's kind of funny. The only thing I could have maybe did was a power play game 2, or 3, excuse me, maybe on that 7-card had all those reverses and skips, but then you're just kind of vulnerable to the inevitable. So realistically, even if I maximized it, I think I would have still lost 5-3. Overall, great season. I take pride in winning and losing. I've been here before. Had a great year, right? Sure, the 76 day. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I'm going to get better in the off season. As I said last year, I did that and I won March. So we'll see him in February. February now, and the league's in good hands. Great players in this league, and I'm looking forward to seeing how next season fans out. I'll definitely change my schedule in terms of just how I play the game a little bit when the reverses ain't going my way. I think that's something that we talk about, reverse skip meta. I'm going to look into that in the off season, what makes that really powerful, and see what I can do. And I look forward to that. As for Tapir, congratulations to him. He'll move on. He'll take JT. Should be a good match. No idea when that's happening due to the schedule this week, but we'll get that going, and I'll take that as a positive. That's all I got, T. That's it. It was a good year. Hopefully I can win next week. That's the most important thing, probably. So that's all I care about. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, KT. I mean, obviously not the way you wanted your season to end, but still a lot of some positive highlights to look back on overall. So we'll see how KT does this for next season. Also, spectating the rest of the season for the semis and beyond. But we'll read Tapir's comment here. I think this match goes to show how intense the mental game is. KT, I can say knew exactly what to do when I was just working with what he gave me. Really happy to have played it, the big boss, and I'm looking forward to our next battle. So Tapir able to get the win, continues his phenomenal season overall, and is off to the semifinals here. We'll take a look at the bracket here. I mean, not updated unfortunately, but again, it's going to be Tapir versus Jesse Turner in the semifinals of Super League. I mean, Who would have thunk that going into this year, especially with Tapir being in D2 and Turner being uh, coming off not a great season per se in 2023, but I mean absolutely turned it around in 2024 and has uh, balled out in Super League overall. So both looking to play for a spot into the Super League final. On the line in that one. We'll see when that happens. Probably after Thanksgiving, unfortunately, but we'll have a lot of good action here. As we'll be playing in December for the first time, most likely. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I mean, before we wrap things up here, I mean, Sandfer, any last comments on the game? Anything you're looking forward to with Turner versus Tapir in that semifinal, and any expectations for Ashley Chomick with the trends we've seen in these first three quarterfinals, and looking into this matchup in terms of an analysis point?
Tapir versus Turner, uh, I'd probably look towards the fact of Tapir generally likes the mid to high tier. Turner usually frequents the mid. I think there's going to be a decent clash in that mid tier package, and it's going to be interesting to see who can kind of come out on top. The way that the trend went for people to beat me this year, it would probably say that Turner's got the edge, but you never know until you get down to the table. So gonna be interesting to see how it goes, and who's got the luck factor going for him in that game.
Yeah, again, I can't ever count that out going into that one. I mean, both of them have had moments in the past this season where they they became bot merchants. So, gonna be a head to head in that one to see who comes out on top. But with that said, I think that will do it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. Congratulations to Tapir on the 5-2 win and moving on to the semifinals of Super League. We'll see what he does against Jesse Turner. That'll be a good match to watch out for us. That'll be coming to you very, very soon. Got one more quarterfinal match to go. Ashley versus Chomik. We're still figuring out what to do with that one, but hopefully it'll be very soon. But beyond that, on behalf of the MRU Commission team and everyone who joined us here for today's match, thank you all so much for watching. And we will see you for our fourth and final quarterfinal between Ashley and Chomik whenever that ends up happening. But until then, I'm G-Man, and have a great day, everybody.